Hi everyone, this is Tyler Frederick from the Portland Ledger on Substack. And today I wanted to make a video on why I'm going to vote no on Measure 26-260 in the city of Portland, which is a Parks Local Option Levy. And there are two key reasons why. The first being that the tax increase is too excessive compared to the previous levy passed in 2020. And the second being that it disproportionately affects lower value homes at a greater amount than higher value homes. And so before I get into all that, I want to just say that this is in no way me not wanting to fund parks. If anything, it's quite the opposite. I support funding parks very much. I use them every single day. Basically, when I walking through my neighborhood, I think it's part of what makes Portland unique compared to other cities across the United States. But due to our property tax system and the constant need for all these ballot measures to just fund basic services, I'm finding it increasingly hard to keep supporting a constant tax increase every single year just to do the basics. So yeah, like I did in my last video, I'm gonna share an Excel spreadsheet and get into it and kind of explain why I have these two core reasons of voting no. So let me go and share my monitor. So this first tab in Excel is kind of me just doing some screenshots of this current year's levy and the previous one. And so what you see here is, if passed, the proposed levy measure would, and you see fund maintenance, protect nature, preserve free and discounted access to recreation. So basically the basics. And it says, if passed, the proposed levy would cost $1.40 for every $1,000 of assessed value, and it would raise an average of $91 million per year for 5 years. And so compare that to last time this levy was done. It was 80 cents for every $1,000 of assessed value, and it's raised $47 million per year for 5 years. So let me go ahead and show the next tab so we can kind of see that difference, which highlights my core issue. Essentially, here's the previous levy, 47 million, the current one, 91 million, so $44 million. So part of the justification for this measure is that cost of services has increased due to inflation. I think it is not a 94% increase in inflation over the last 5 years. I would basically just say no to that. And then part of the other justification is tax revenue has decreased due to decreased property values post-COVID-19. So reading that kind of made no sense to me because I've lived in Portland since 2019 and housing costs have only gone up since then. And so I went and looked at Redfin, and yes, my intuition was proven correct. They have a chart showing the last 5 years, and you could see back in 2020, it is lower than it is now. It is all kind of all over the place. But in 2020, it was $474K was the median sale price, and now it's $520. So that is a higher number, and it did not go down. My guess would be in how they could word this in the measure is that the Measure 5 compression is starting to take place as assessed values are starting to catch up to real market values in certain neighborhoods. So those homes would not be basically paying the current levy that's in place. So that justification just does not sit right with me. And also the large increase of 75% does not sit right with me as well, because that increase, as we'll see in this table next, makes it harder for lower value homes as a percentage, as a total tax of what their home is worth. So I'm going to flash this table for a sec and basically let me talk through how I put this table together. You'll see here this tab called parcel data. I hid all the addresses so that way I'm not showing that for everyone to see. But from the Multnomah County website, and granted, this is also just Multnomah County. I know Portland has other counties as well, Clackamas and Washington. But for the purpose of this, Multnomah County is a very significantly high amount of the homes in Portland. But basically, you can download all this parcel data from the Multnomah County website. And essentially what I did is, if we look over in this table over here, I broke it up into assessed value brackets, of basically in increments of 300, 400K-ish. So basically there's 300K. So anything that's less or assessed at less than 300K, anything that's assessed between 300, 600K, 600 to a million, million to $1.5 million, and then anything greater than $1.5 million. And then the second piece is I took the assessed value as a percentage of the real market value, what a house is worth, and broke those into brackets as well. So you'll see 0 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and then 50 to 61.1. So 61.1 is key because basically what this is saying is anything that's less than 61.1% is going to be affected by this levy. Otherwise, it will just be compressed. So it will not prove my point because there's no increase that's happening to people that are compressed. So if we look over here to the right, you can see as a percentage of what a house is worth, the closer you get between your assessed value and your real market value, then the higher of percentage this tax affects you higher, basically. And so there's like basically a perfect correlation, as you can see here. The lower the MAV as a percentage of RMV assessed in real market value, the more the house is worth. And it's like literally perfect. It goes down each time, 76 or 766K, all the way to 384. So, and then the next bracket, the same exact thing. Next bracket, same exact thing, same exact thing. And so then here you could see that the tax increase for the lower valued homes in each assessed bracket are paying a higher percentage of what their home is worth. And that to me is just not fundamentally fair. And every time a ballot measure like this happens, it is going to keep disproportionately affecting these homes with lower market values. And so I hope this is just going to be a quick video to kind of talk through this. But like I said earlier, this is not me not wanting to fund parks. This is me wanting to not let the city off the hook, and the state of Oregon, honestly, for this property tax system that is just fundamentally broken. We should not need to be having ballot measures fund basic services for our cities. And I would like the state to go and take a look at these two measures, Measure 50 and Measure 5, that can create these kind of disproportions in the first place. And I would also like the city, when they propose something like this, to not have such a stark increase to fund a basic service. 75% increase is, to me, is just not something we should just let the city get away with. There needs to be more explanation for why, and just funding basic services to me just doesn't cut it. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Hopefully, I know it's going to be a hot topic. I know there's going to be some disagreements out there. But at the end of the day, I want what's best for the city, and I want these kinds of systems to be fixed before we just start throwing bigger tax increases out there just for the sake of doing it to just fund basic services, like I said earlier. So yeah, hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys in the next one.